Tranche 1 of the Undercover Policing Inquiry. We've just had the opening statement on behalf of Celia Stubbs given by Sam Jacobs. As always, and Celia Stubbs' statement is incredibly powerful. For those who are unaware, I'm sure you are, but Celia Stubbs was the partner of Blair Peach, who was killed in Southall in 1979 by members of the Special Patrol Group during an anti-National Front demonstration. Following his death, Celia was subject to 20 years, or at least 20 years, probably more, of infiltration, of monitoring by undercover police officers. It's because one of the things which, unlike the other opening statements, Ben Jacobs presented a lot of documents which did not come from the inquiry but were the result of a subject access request that Celia made to to Metropolitan Police, which includes a number of special branch documents, many of which are not related to undercover policing, but some of which blatantly are. But they show how the evidence that the intelligence that was being compiled on her was nothing to do with public disorder and everything to responding to the campaign. There was very clear that not just the Friends of Blair Peach campaign, but also the setting up of inquest and subsequent campaigns for those who've been killed by police. And it is, I think, fairly clear to everybody that police were, spying on these groups for reputational reasons, for the reputation of the Met Police, not for anything to do with public order or policing of protest or any of that shit that they come out and claim it is for. Some of the, the tone of it is a lot, there's this really disgusting fucking idea that the cops have got that there's something opportunistic about people who've suffered a death at their hands being upset about it and campaigning about it. It's like the police don't really seem to think that anybody really cares about their friends or loved ones when they're murdered by police. They just see it as an opportunity to campaign against the police, which is like, it's fucking disgusting, isn't it? They are fucking disgusting. The tone of the documents that were shown, just fucking horrible. With the setting up of inquest in 1981, the Special Branch report says it was set up at the height of an orchestrated campaign which sought to infer that all deaths in police or prison custody should be seen as evidence of malpractice, with a management committee comprised of those who are Trotskyite sympathisers at least. They couldn't believe there possibly could be anything wrong when people died in police custody, that it could possibly be anything other than, couldn't be possibly be their fault. They also went on about the missing documents. It's been very noticeable that the threat reports, as they're called, I think threat reports, exist for many of the large set-piece anti-National Front protests, such as the Battle of Lewisham. There's a 56-page report, but there is nothing for Red Lion Square or Southall has been found. It's noticeable those two ones where people died, Kevin Gately and Blair Peach, respectively. I think it's fairly obvious. I think we all know that they were just destroyed. Or if they're not destroyed, then hidden. Maybe they will turn up, but they've been suppressed at any rate. The evidence given at the closed hearing, which we mentioned yesterday, is returned to HN 41, the only undercover officer who admits to being there that day in Southall when Blair Peach was murdered, though he wasn't anywhere near the events of the murder. He talks about how senior Special Demonstration Squad management were against the spy cops from attending that day because it was known that the uniformed police was going to clamp down on protesters and teach them a lesson or some shit, which Absolutely horrific. Yeah. Um, like there's a quote. I'm just going to finish with this quote from Celia at the end of her opening statement. To put it bluntly, police officers took my partner's life and then concealed the truth. The concluding job of this inquiry is to uncover the truth. I mean, I don't know as that'll happen, but you know, like you've got to be impressed by the tenacity and dignity of Celia Stubbs for continuing to keep fighting on this and to not and to make it about everything else as well, with you know the formation of Inquest, which does amazing work. Yeah, I'm absolutely burnt out now. I'm going to go outside because it's a lovely day and I've been sat in this room mostly for the whole time. So I'll be back at 7 p.m. for a Twitter Spaces. Please join and give us your thoughts about what was said today, what was said on the previous days, generally about the inquiry, whatever you want us to talk about, really, as long as it's related to spy cops. You're more than welcome. If you don't want to say anything, just want to listen in, please join us then.